Hey, welcome. Good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Good day. Namaste. If you are in that part of the world, Ekaro, Ekason, Ekale, Sanibonani, Dumelang, wherever you are. Yes. Bonjour for those who speak the French. Ciao, for my Italian friends. Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome to the channel, and thanks for being here once again. Thanks you for subscribing and for following. I really, really do appreciate your sharing, because it allows me to reach a wider audience, which is, it's really it's good. So today I want to look at something on finances. I was having a chat with my daughter. She was like, Mom, what you told me about finances, it's really, really making a difference in my life. And I felt, wow, maybe I should share this with a broader audience. I mean, there are many layers to it, but I think for me, it could start from taking stock of what you have. What do I have? Some of us may say that I don't have any income. True, you may not have any income, but you do have 24 hours in the day. Right. Of that 24 hours, you could give a part of it. And if you're coming from a Christian background like mine, you may start thinking you want to tithe your time. So if we go with the tithe, which is a 10%, it may look like giving 10% of your time, of your 24 hours, right? To service of humanity, service of outside of your immediate care. So if you're giving 2.4 hours, that is like 2 hours, 40 minutes. Is it really 40 minutes? But 2 hours plus, right? And if you want to exceed, KPA say, did you exceed expectations? So you give 3 hours, right? So let's say you now decide you want to give 3 hours. You could do 3 hours in just volunteering, right? Volunteering and giving because you don't have the finances to give. So then what do you give? You give of your expertise, whatever your expertise may be. Volunteer 3 hours of your time a month. That could come down however you want to break it up, And that's a good way to start because it shows that you are being a good steward of what you have been given, of what you have, which is time, right? So the next level, maybe you start earning a little bit of income. You may go to the next leg of saying, well, this income is not even enough. And I know it's a situation for many of us. Our income is not even enough, right? But the truth be said, that income could drop at any time. So let's imagine that you are earning, for argument's sake, 100,000. That's quite a lot. 100,000, whatever, pounds, dollars, rand, naira. You're earning 100,000 for calculation's sake. And so maybe that is not even enough to cover all your expenses, wherever you are or whatever your expenses might be. But believe it or not, that grace you have to earn 100,000 a month, right, could be taken away, or it could drop, or it could be for whatever reason. Maybe the company closes down, you lose your job. So easily one could go from the 100K to zero, right? And then, believe it or not, you will still have to survive in that circumstance, right? So now we're saying take a tenth of that and give it away and see how you can live within the remaining 90,000, right? Now, we may say, no, it's not possible. It's not this. I'm telling you, if that increases to 200,000, we'll probably say the same thing. I cannot live within the 200,000, right? So imagine that you don't even earn the 100, but you actually earn 90 and live within the 90, where then you are able to give the tithe of your 100K. So you give a tenth like it was not yours. The Bible tells us that it's God that gives us the power to create wealth. Without his help, we would not even be able to create that 100. So let us take that tenth of and give it away to say, I'm giving it to God. Yeah. We have had horrible experiences with leadership, ministers, almost like tricksters wanting to take money out of your pocket. Find a place where you are comfortable, like you are comfortable in sowing in to the life of others, in sowing in to helping the needy. The point of the tithe is that you have given it to the what? To the needy. You have sown into the kingdom, and be convinced that God, I'm giving this to you, that 10%. So you're now left with the 90K. What do you do with it? How do you work with it? A wise person once said, you must pay yourself first, because in doing all that you are doing, you need to take some out of the bulk, reinvest it, create an asset out of it. And I'm telling you, even if you take from that 90,000, you take 1,000 and say, this 1,000 is for me, right? And you put it somewhere in an investment so that it can grow and grow. Oh, I love to listen to a young lady, Bola Shokumbi.
Clever Girl Finance.
Clever Girl Finance. If you haven't watched her, please go and look for Clever Girl Finance. Such a lovely lessons, lovely videos to watch, and the way she presents it is just magnificent. So you take your 1% or your 1,000 and put it somewhere in a savings, in an investment, investing even in yourself, right? So if you're looking at doing a course, LinkedIn has a lot of courses you could do. You could take that 1,000 and pay yourself in a separate bank account, if you have that luxury. Then the rest of it, you now live within that, what is it now? 89K. You now live within it. You pay this, pay that, pay school fees, set, because they say cut your clothes according to your size. But it's actually cut your clothes according to your pocket. You now look at it and then challenge those boundaries with that your one. Even when you read books like Rich Dad, Poor Dad, it tells you take out of that, out of your income basket and put it into your asset basket. Just even if it's 1 rand or one, take something and save it. Don't eat. Yoruba proverb will say, don't eat with all your 5 fingers. You eat and then you lick them, finish. And then your bank account comes in. As soon as anything comes into your account, within seconds, it's on zero again. No, we can't afford to do that. Really, you can't. You cannot afford to do that. There are other books like The Richest Man in Babylon. It still talks about that 1,000 in 12 years. By the end of the year, it will be how much? Yes, 12,000. And so that is how you build up. It's not, other market analysts will say, it's not timing the market, but rather time in the market. How much time has your 1 rand or your 1,000 spent in the market? How much is it building up? Yes, it may look like nothing, but if you are able to create that purse, and I know in South Africa, many of the banks allows you to have a saving purse. Just put it there and assume you have spent it on, on your chocolates. By the way, I love chocolates. You spent it on chocolates or you spent it on wigs. For those who love expensive wigs, that wig money, buy one and use that one. I know that may sound horrible, but it's time, right? It's just there is a time for it. There's a time to give, there's a time to hold back. And so all your wig money or your bag money, your shoe money, put it in a purse and then see how it grows. The profit or the interest, the returns you're having on that investment, you can also now use it to buy more of those goodies that you like. So my discussion with her went in a way that have your salary account if you are working. From that salary account, pay yourself, pay yourself. And then you now know that, oh, I want a new dress. How much am I earning from my salary, right? You pay yourself and then you can budget using that salary account on yourself. That is what you consume. right? Then the others, you spending all your expenses, you watching that, you monitoring it, you checking, am I spending right? Am I a wise spender, a foolish spender? And then slowly, you're able to build up, and that your pocket, depending on how you want to spend it, can now start bringing back good to you. So the finances, then I would say, have two bank accounts, one for your salary, one for your personal expenses. For those of us women who are managing the home finances, have one for your income and another one for your home expenses, so that you're not just spending without any limit. You're just spending. And then when you don't have, now like I don't have, but you're able to pace yourself, you're able to budget, you're able to track what is it that I buy every month. And then you can decide, I need to buy this in bulk. Because when I buy in bulk, I'm able to save, I'm able to spend well. There's a Bible passage that talks about the talents, the parable of the 5 talents. And we see the one that speaks about one getting 10 talents and he invested it. He made it work, or she made it work. And then the one who had 1 talent said, this small 1 talent that you have given me, let me just hide it. Let me sit on it, right? And what did the master say when he returned? You, this wicked servant, I will take the one from you and give it to somebody else. That should not be our portion. Whatever talents we have been given, and that talent, again, you may need to check yourself, find out what is your talent, how can you use it. Don't only think it's in terms of finances, but how can you use your talents so that by the time the finances start coming in, the master would know that you are a good and faithful servant, because he has given you 100K, be it pounds, naira, dollars, yen, whatever it is, and you have been able to use it and multiply it. Not saying, this 100 is not going to be able to do anything. What if you had nothing? You would still say it's not able to do anything. Now you have 100, right? You should be able to find something that it can do. And it may be about taking that bit out of it, be it 1,000, right? And then you use it. A friend was sharing with me of how she bought a tuber of yam. For those who don't know what yam is, it's like a madumbe, a potato, is a root tuber, right? And she ate half of the yam and planted the other half, right? How incredible that is. Next season, she got her 1 yam back and more, right? So that is what we need to do with the seed. I remember one of my pastors some years ago, Pastor Tina Adetiba, she shared this message about the seed being in the fruit, right? Now, when you look around, God in all his wisdom, when he gives us the fruit, there is the seed in it. You have a tomato as the fruit, there is the seed in it. You have the mealies as the fruit, there is a seed in it. So for every fruit, which is the increase, is not just the plant, right? Every fruit that we get, the orange, the mango, the pear, there is a seed in it. Likewise, in the fruit, of your financial increase, there is a seed in it. You don't want to eat the fruit and then eat the seed. The next season, you are wondering, hey, I don't have any more. So be careful with what you do with your seed. Be careful to plant it on fertile ground so that in the next season, you have more, not just for yourself and your household, but you have even to give, right? You have to give. So that's what I'm sharing today. I hope that has been useful. If you have any topics or any questions you want me to touch on, please feel free to put it in the chat. I will definitely respond to you. Thanks and bye.